me will fail miserably. I will never allow you to take my words out of context to push your racist and hateful agenda. The truth will always win. And her office releasing a statement saying, quote, did not in any way praise the Holocaust, nor did she say the Holocaust itself brought a calming feeling to her. Jessica, how did you take her comments, or what do you think?
I thought that she was very clear that she in no way felt calmed by the Holocaust. She used the word tragedy, was it 3 words later? And if you listen to the whole clip, which I know all of us did, she's very clear about the atrocity that is the Holocaust. I think that there are 2 things going on here. One, the twisting of her words in that sense, and it reminded me of what happened with Ilhan Omar, saying some people did something about 9/11 and then talking about the reaction to Muslims in America, then turning that into she was in favor of 9/11, she doesn't care about the terrorist attack. The second issue is that Rashida Tlaib is for a one-state solution. She goes on to talk about policy preferences that are in line with Hamas. The means are different. Hamas is a violent group. She is in no way advocating for violence. But again, this is a slippery slope when Republicans pounce like that, and Steve Scalise and Kevin McCarthy, Liz Cheney, and they take her words out of context. It allows people who are making comments about the Israeli-Palestinian relationship, gives them a route to saying, you've just taken me out of context and not addressing the rest of it. So you need to be very, very careful about what you're doing there.
What the hell is she talking about? I don't even know. A calming feeling in the Holocaust? I listened to everything.
Well,
she should
Brian,
say it's my fault for not being clear.
She was clear, though.
That was clear?
Really?
That's clear. A calming feeling when I look at the Holocaust. Palestinians gave their land, but they shouldn't have given their land.
She's historically inaccurate about the relationship between Palestinians and Jews in that period, but she is very clear that she in no way felt calm because of the murder of 6 million Jews.
Right. But
she's happy.
Who would ever use calming effect of thinking of the Holocaust?
But that's not what she said.
Who would ever use that?
You have...
It's her fault for not being clear about one of the
No,
it's
most... Republicans' fault for twisting that.
What's twisting about it? I find it a tortured types of definition.
Calming was probably not a great choice of words, but Kennedy, it seems to me like what she was trying to make the point that Palestinians lost something too. Her ancestors lost something too.
And that's probably her personal history. That's probably what she grew up believing. And she had grandparents and people around her telling her that this is what happened, and they were displaced and they suffered hardship. Everyone does that. Everyone does that. Everyone has their own personal history, and some of it is completely made up. Look at Elizabeth Warren. I don't doubt that Elizabeth Warren truly believes in her heart that she is Native American. I don't doubt that, because you have generations of people who perpetuate that. That's not the problem with Rashida Tlaib. It's that she does have an implicit bias that she has to be very careful of. And people like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, who have a tendency to say incendiary things, they can't be surprised when their words are abstracted and shown to the rest of the world as being somehow this is a demonstration of what they really believe. You have to be, when you are a lightning rod like that, you have to be much more careful and precise if you don't want your words taken out of context. I think that it was really inartful the way she said it, and that's on her. The problem is not the people who are listening to you, it's the communicator when you have a message.
But by releasing a statement and responding herself, I believe she was working to clarify that. And I want to be on the record, I'm not for a one-state solution. I'm for a two-state solution. I don't see Israel as the provocateurs that are out there to just destroy the lives of Arabs. The Arab world is united in hating Israel. As a Jewish American, just as a person who's a supporter of democracy, I abhor that. But I'm saying she was not in any way unclear about her feelings about what happened to Jews during the Holocaust and the great tragedy of that.
Just like with this and her previous AF or MF remarks about the president,
impeachment.
The MF impeachment, whatever. I sometimes question how much of this is necessary for her to make her point. I listened to the entire, it's a very long interview.
It's 50 minutes.
And she talks about growing up in the beautiful, blackest city in America, Detroit. And she uses that to kind of hold lane with where she is on every issue with, diversity, so on and so forth. I sometimes just scratch my head. I don't understand why some of it is necessary to make her point. I understood the question from Isikoff and Kleiman, the hosts, and I understood why she went down the road of talking about growing up as the only Palestinian woman so far in Congress and her perspective. I get all of that. But why use a term that you know is going to be difficult for some to hear, because we are all coming at it from our own experiences? She is professional. and a professional speaker. So she's got to know how those words hit us. And words matter. And it isn't to say that she meant anything bad by it. But that word, the word MF, you've got kids in the audience at that rally. I'm just using that as an example.
I understand that example. There are many people guilty of using bad language, including the President of the United States of America.
I knew we had to get that in before we went.
Well, but it does matter, and she wasn't giving.
None of it
she
is
wasn't
necessary.
doing an interview. She was talking to supporters when she said that. I'm saying the issue is the policy. It's not any kind of fantasy that Rashida Tlaib thinks that the Holocaust was a good thing.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo skipping a planned trip to Moscow amid new concerns over rising tensions in the Middle East. What